Did you know that Flow Creator makes it easy to do unique and beautiful yoga sequences effortlessly? With just a few clicks and our smart recommendations, you'll be sweating and enjoying a creative flow in no time at all. Unlock the freedom of practicing anytime, anywhere, whenever you feel inspired to step on the mat. Let's see how you can do it now. All right, as you can see below, I'm about to start. You begin by just saying hi to get the ball rolling. So let's say hi. And Flow Creator will start to help you create a practice right away. We're going to start by selecting a style that we'd like to practice. I'm going to do vinyasa today. And as we go forward, we're going to go with let's do a nice 30-minute practice, nothing too crazy. What theme would you like to focus on? Maybe we say something like waking up. You could put energizing or heart-centered or focus on a specific chakra or other theme. And then here we're going to select what level of intensity you'd like. So I'm going to go with intermediate. And then we're going to say how many peak poses would you like? So just as a heads up, if you go with 0, it's going to make the whole class like a pretty consistent level of intensity. But if you go with 1 or 2, then you'll have poses that build you up to the 1 peak pose and then cool down on the other side. And the same if you have 2 poses. So let's go with 1 for now. As we continue here, we're going to choose how we want to measure our counting. In yoga, when I'm leading classes, no matter where I am in the world, some students like to count by breaths. Inhale, exhale. That's 1. Other people just like it when I go 1, 2, etc. So you have the choice here for your own personal preference. I'm going to go with number of breaths. Let's see what we got next. When counting by number of breaths, how many counts should the average pose be held for? So let's say we want to have 4 inhales and exhales for each pose, right? That's a pretty good number. You can pick the one that works for you. And then which kinds of poses would you like to focus on? So let's say I want to go with, arm balance, right? I personally like arm balance, but if you want to focus on standing poses or something else, you can do that. Now here we're going to focus on adding a technique of pranayama. So pranayama helps you to regulate your breath and awareness of your breath. And you can choose where in the sequence you want it, beginning, end, both, or none. I'm going to go with at the end. And how many sun salutations would you like? So I'm going to go with 2 rounds of sun salutation. Now here, you just want to be mindful of this. So if you say 2 rounds and then choose A, it'll do A 2 times. Same with B. But if you go A plus B, it's going to give you A plus B 2 times, right? So that's a total of 4 rounds. So I want to get a little bit more warmed up. I'm going to go with 2 rounds of A plus B. Okay, so now what it's going to do is take your recommendations or your suggestions for the class and include this in some recommended poses. So here it's saying that the suggested peak pose is Ekapada Kundanyasana, number 2, flying split, or sometimes called flying lizard. And it's going to break it down, how to practice it, and a little bit more detail here. Okay, so that's great. And then some of the benefits of the asana itself. And bear in mind that this is combined with like your intensity level, the length of your practice, the focus of your categories, asana categories, and just kind of like all the information. So review this and then say, hey, is that the kind of pose you would like? If you have a pose that you know you want to do, you can type that in. I'm going to go with flying splits pose. And you can type the response in English or Sanskrit. It's your call. I really tried to make this suitable for beginners, intermediates, and advanced in terms of how you would want to approach designing a class and what level of detail you want to provide. So, I'm always open to your feedback. The next part here is it's going to use that information, your peak pose, to determine some of the prep poses that you might want to do. So you can see that we sort of break it down here already for you. We start off with some centering breath work and then your warm up, your sun salutations. So this isn't the actual sequence that you're going to do. These are some prep poses and techniques that'll help you out. So you can put in here what you want to do for a warm up. So like you might want to do some extra triangle pose or extended side angle, because those poses mimic what the peak pose is, but you can put in any one that you want. So they give you a pretty decent breakdown of different categories to get you going here. So let's say that the peak pose that I want to, or the preparation pose that I want to do is lizard pose, because that one's really close. So that one's just lizard pose on the ground, and that's a great practice. Finally, do you have any mantras that you want to include? So if you're into chanting, great, put some here. If not, just put none, right? So I'm just going to go none. And then we'll just move along, right? Where are you in your yoga journey? This will help to determine like what kind of detail to include in the sequence. Let's say I want to develop a personal practice is where you're at. And so we're working on prepping your 30-minute vinyasa style. I'd love to get to know all of you on a personal level. If you punch in your name there, that helps us to, build our community and get in touch and know you on a personal level. And then we're generating the sequence, but we need to email it to you. So where do you want us to send that? Make sure to put in your best email. Don't forget, sometimes stuff will go to your spam or your junk. So just be mindful to check there in a few minutes. And then lastly, before heading out, it does take a minute to make the sequence and email it to you. Why not bookmark this page, and then that way you have it when you want to create another one. Whenever you're ready, you can hit yes, and that will start you off again. All right. So I hope that you found this helpful. I've been working super hard at this, and I just really wanted to help you get on the mat sooner, easier, and no matter where you are, because when I was a yoga student, this was something that was frustrating for me. I was all over the place, and sometimes I was nervous about stepping on the mat and not having a sequence to follow. So I didn't know what to do. So I thought I'd create this to help yoga students who are in that stage and yoga teachers who maybe want to get to practicing a new sequence instead of spending hours and hours preparing one and following all the rules. I've punched all the rules into this, so it follows it. It's sound, it's logical, it's based on theory. And I just really hope that you guys enjoy this. Click the link down below to get yourself going, and you'll really like this tool. So I'll see you inside.